Good night, Belize. Good night, world. It's the most anticipated show in country Belize on a Monday night on Love Television and Love FM for movers and shakers, the business hour. I'm joined in studio by my co-host Troy Gabb. I'm your host Daryl Carter, and here's some of the things, Belize, which we would like to talk about. Last weekend, we had a tropical wave or something visited us and, dump water on the southern side and in other areas as well. I became part of it because I was on my way to Cayo on Saturday. And when we get outside a cotton tree, there was a culvert that gave way. And notwithstanding, we were still hoping, waiting, and we got to commend those who show up from NDH and, start to do fixing and repairs. But after a couple hours, Troy, we decided to turn around.
Oh, yeah,
I just call it because we met some people who tell me that they were there from 8 o'clock in the morning. And I says, whoa.
You didn't want to pass and couldn't get back.
I couldn't get back. So it really held up things. But then when you listen to the stories from the mayor, Dangriga, and you listen to the stories otherwise, you also hear where the flooding took place, and you saw even on Facebook and some posting where areas were just underwater. For us traveling on the side of the road, the water just take on the side where it run down the hill, and then you could see the force where it's coming with. You could see everything, so forth, and that's just preview of coming attraction. So we gotta be careful about it. As a matter of fact, there is flooding warning, particularly in the south areas as well. And talking to some people on the St. Vincent Highway, which is the former Hummingbird, they told me, Troy, that they would get some flash flooding, which wouldn't last too long. It's about 4 feet, 5 feet, cover up the bed and everything coming off the mountains the same way. And we have to realize they're in a different timing, and so give kudos to where that is. While we're talking about that, I got to start off and says kudos also to Belize City Council, who have man up and really and truly say we're tired of this talk about sarcasm, and certainly we can do something. And let's see what we can do. And so the front of Belize, which is our picturesque beauty, they moved in and started cleaned up and certain take it out and what have you. And we got to say kudos in that direction, because sarcasm have not come in this era until 2021, where it started affected the beaches, affected Mexico, Belize, and Honduras and so forth, and it's something which we seems to have to live with. We may work out something to find out later on where we could do with it, and we gotta says kudos in that direction. The call last week from the business hour to have Ladyville as a town went very well in terms of further discussion with other peoples. There was only one caller to the show last week who objected, and that caller, incidentally, don't live in Ladyville. One of the things that I observed, though, is that the new infrastructure going down is much higher than the norm that we are used to. And so when you travel the road and you're paying attention, there seems to be a flat. Say if you're going up to the boom area, there is a flat area on the right-hand side, and those people are lower than how they normally be. That means that little flooding and what have you will be experienced. So sandbags and other issues have to be taken, but in further building, 3-block height, 4-block height, 5-block height is the way to go, because certainly that's a low-lying thing to deal with. Outside of that, we had also raised the issue of a bridge at mile 25 on the George Price. And there's a road right there at mile 25 that runs way back into the river, and across the river is St. Paul's. If you put the bridge there and you make the connection, the people in the river valley won't have to come 20 odd miles all the way around and then another 25 miles to come up to mile 25 on the George Price. It just makes a lot of sense. But for those of us like myself who actually go see it and actually look at it and see the possibilities, makes a huge difference to us. That conversation have been going on even when they were cutting down the Hallova Bridge, but they took our bridge all the way to Cayo and made some people happy up that side. But traveling in the river valley, I see the first original boom bridge, Troy, is still on the side.
Still there?
Still there. And so we send info to our Minister of Infrastructure to please look at the bridge. Have your guys and look at the bridge. See where you could give it and see how you could help us in the River Valley area. You'll make a huge difference by putting that bridge in there. We gotta says that what we could say is that government is revamping its public purchasing system. That should bring in some check and balance, and like you can't just write out the maximum 400,000 and get away with it. And so we says those are steps in the right direction moving forward.
Yeah.
Our good sister, Dr. Carla Barnett, sat over the 51st heads of CARICOM in St. Lucia. And we say kudos to her as she awaits the ICJ ruling on her position. But we strongly believe that it will be still her after this. August in Belize is celebrated as Emancipation Day. And so we set aside our remembrance. First of all, we go to church and we are very thankful, you know, that in all the process that we were able to come out, and we come out with an education, we come out being who we are, and certainly there are some deficiencies. However, we do celebrate that, and there will be activities around the place for others to do that as well. Last week, a call, I believe, and announced the play, A Woman Called Nora. And that play is coming to the Bliss September 11th and the 13th, and certainly will be played out highlighting Nora Parham, and certainly highlighting also domestic violence, be it male against female or female against male. Okay, can't bias. It runs both ways. And certainly we welcome that. And some people tell me already that they have their ticket choice. So, you know, I feel good in terms of what we triggered off last week. Okay,
they get the turnout, you know.
Mm-hmm. We send our sincere condolence to the Mennonite community also in the loss of one of their pilots, Brother Plett, who lost his life in an accident last week, and certainly, you know, send our condolence over there. Usually visit the market to see what's going on, to see if buck up Troy or buck up Armin. But I think Armin weren't here. He was still abroad, but he's back. And we just got to say, welcome back, buddy. And at the market, we are able to see Corozal tamales, mescal plants. I also got to see fish. We had to see a lot of items and goodies for sale. Even second-hand books for schooling were out there. And people have a way. But also, I actually ran into the lady that does sweets. And they have tableta, they have fudge, they have wangla, they have a whole heap, a lot of things. And I strongly believe that they were also from Mescal. So I got to big them up as well. and certainly to buyers, sellers who make it out there, stretch their money, and we got to say kudos in that direction as well. And I still found, Troy, mango juice. I
Okay.
still found people stretching that mango conversation on the business hour for more and more stuff going on. Going out to Cayo, as I mentioned, on Saturday. The people at the roundabout, the first roundabout, which is the old Hattieville, as far as I'm concerned, had their mangoes in a bag, their sauce and everything out there for sale. So we got to say kudos in those directions as we move to do more in there. We know we send also our sincere feelings and support for Garifuna brothers and sisters who have made a stand against the Honduran government and their treatment of their fellow brethren there in San Juan, Honduras. We certainly make that stand for equality and certainly human rights and everything in those particular situations. World Cup is on. It's on to the last 4, I believe. And will end on Sunday with who is the big guy, who is the final, who is the champion of champions. It has been a tapa World Cup, and certainly exposing small countries, what they can do, what they can achieve, and certainly big countries who continue to dominate, and certainly send a clear message that they not around no joke. You have to be up here in order to come and play big, and we ready for it.
It was a very good World Cup so far. I mean, attendance-wise, viewing-wise, so everything was up. So this is a history-making World Cup in comparison with any other period.
Okay.
And the competition, the top 4 teams, number 1, 2, 3, and 4, happens to be the top 4 teams that are at the semi-final, and subsequently we'll see who gets to the final. So, like you pointed out, what made it extremely interesting is the competitive nature of the game. This year they expanded from 32 teams. It started with 24. Subsequently, way before then, they expanded to 32, then to 48. They're thinking to even expand it to 64.
Oh, wow.
That's a contemplation that is being
let's get
pondered.
involved, Belize.
So
Let's get more
Belize. People, more teams participating. It's going to maybe not necessarily a longer World Cup, but you're going to get more games per group. So those things are going to be very, very interesting going forward. More than likely, the World Cup will be kind of all over. They're looking at Spain, Portugal, Morocco, maybe even Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, in terms of like a 6-country period during the course of the next 4 years. They'll work it out. But the point is that it's big business, and it has certainly paid dividends for FIFA, and the game of football has been totally embraced by the world. We can say that now very clearly now, even though there was that all the sorts of question, and because America dominate the Western media, and because they don't accept the word football, they created a confusion with the whole thing, and they kind of just trying to catch up now. They had a really decently good team, and I felt they had a good run, and I think it gave them a tremendous amount, as a people within the United States, a team to follow, a team that they can latch on to, because it's a team that's young. It's a team that 9 out of 10, most of them should be around for the 2030 World Cup. They should be much more experienced. So that also helps, because their marketing power is tremendous.
Right.
And so if you could get them to a point where they believe they also can dominate that sport, that is where they are going to put all their effort and energy and finances behind it, and therefore it helps everybody else.
Yeah.
So that is certainly this World Cup is phenomenon. You know, I don't see controversy. I don't see competitiveness.
Yeah.
And so people, they read things wrong all the time, you know, because we always look when you're underneath of the thing instead of look at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the bottom line is that if you want to win, you got to play.
Yeah.
And once you play, you need to score.
Yeah.
The only way to win is to score.
Yeah.
You know,
and we had some small country teams that showed up and actually won some games, and so
no, absolutely,
you know,
especially the African teams has shown up now. I mean, for the most part, if you want to talk about ethnicity, many of the big teams are dominated by African-related persons anyway. You know, you know, if you look at France, outside of Argentina, every single team is majority black people.
Okay.
Right? France, England, Spain is a mix. Argentina, well, they're dominant Hispanics, but when you look up and down all the teams, there's been a mix. Portugal, wherever.
Yeah.
The majority of their players are of black descent or African descent. So you're looking at even when France won in 2018, they said, well, you know, it's Africa that won the Gold Cup.
Interesting. UDP leader held a protest last week Friday in Belize City. It was well attended and certainly ended up highlighting some of the things which they wanted to share with the nation, and certainly sent a message that, you know, somebody is in waiting all the time to the government in place. So sometimes you don't actually win on election day. You actually lose on election day. And that loss goes long before it really happened. I noticed a lot of infrastructure works taking place, and we got to say kudos here. We had a portion of Iguana Street, I believe that was redone, cemented. Certainly, I drove on Raccoon Street, back where Willie White and the Scott family is, and that was redone all the way, Troy. And so you got to say kudos to those improvements, because those make a huge difference in terms of the living condition, in terms of transportation, and certainly for the people.
Infrastructure is also one of the components that helps a society feel better about themselves. You know, proper roads, proper drainage.
We have to say kudos to the road from here to Corozal, for that was awesomely well putting together, and certainly makes a great travel. As I was over that side yesterday, and was very happy to see the Corzalinos in the sea water enjoying themselves, and they don't have no sarcasm they bother them at this time. So, you know, that was really and truly a very good thing to see. But looking at some of the things as well, you could note that in front of Cemetery, that the road is going to be raised much higher as well. One of my close observation is that I believe that they may have popped open one or two graves along the way in terms of the infrastructure that they have been doing. I just hope that our people have been paying close attention, because we literally had the graves them way out, Troy. Past the lamppost, way into the close of the road itself. You know, and now that we're dealing with the road, you know, some of them, I really could truly say that some of them on the side have been broken. And so I just hope that they do a good fix in that and certainly get it on its way. I made a proposal a long time ago for us to get one of these granite stones on both sides and start to encrypt. You pay for it, and then you just get the person to come in and do the encryptment, put the names and what have you, and then you put the first person who have been buried there, who is Elizabeth Morrison. You put the date of when she was buried there, and then you go from there. On this side, you put who are buried over there, and on the other side, you put who are also buried over there. But people still, not grasp onto things like that, and so you have to go find somebody inside to go find the grave for you, as we still have a lot of people who visit people on Mother's Day, Troy, in the cemetery, and others who have been away for a long time come and see how they could fix up, how they could do, and take it from there.
Yeah, sentimental value.
Very quickly, to Miss Una Bevans, I'd like to say a belated happy birthday to you. And all I know is celebrating a birthday also in this month of July, hot month of July, as we combat global warming. We don't want to in a denial. It has been extremely hot. But at the same time, a little wind blows in the night, cool off things and what have you. And then we pay attention to these things as we move about.
In the geopolitical world, Iran war seemed to be ramping up again.
Oh, goodness.
So we saw a tweaking up during the course of the weekend of fuel coming from about $68 per barrel. Now it's about $74 per barrel.
Oh, goodness. So my.
It's sticking its way back up. It will take a little bit of time because quite a number of tankers had gotten through before. And so they would be able to unload and fill back some of the gaps that had existed. But now, if there is any prolonged period of conflict, or revived conflict, you could see us starting to slide back down where the prices would then start going up, and which would continue to impact the cost of living. So we didn't even get a chance to benefit from whatever reduction there was because of the lag time, and because of that lag time, these guys seemingly can't find no common ground.
Mm-hmm.
So the process had started again. There's some bombing and so.
Oh boy.
So hopefully at some point in time, cooler heads will prevail. But it's a no-win situation for
the rest of the world.
For the world.
Smalley believes whether just this fish where they clean the shark teeth.
So we are certainly in a bind. The globe, for that matter, especially like you pointed out, smaller nations which are price takers. And so we are now in a situation where we wait and see again, because the hope was that at some point in time the fuel prices on the world market were going to drastically be reduced. I'm looking for it to get where it was before the war, around $50 per barrel. And that, at least that's manageable, because that's where it was. And then on top of that, you could start to see some of these price that was built into the end product on the shelf, that you could start to see some reduction. We know that and we always talk about this in terms of the sticky price. Sometimes when the price goes up, it never comes down. And that's an area where we as persons watching and alerting persons is that you still need to be very thrifty. You still need to guard your dollar as best as you can, because once you spend it, very hard to get it back. And so make sure that you plan your trips. You don't waste trips. You don't idle your vehicle too much. We know it's hot, and you kind of want to keep the AC running, and so
why?
So
you gotta lower the window sometimes, brother.
But
enjoy the air as well.
But it's just to get a sense of being extremely thrifty, because and the more this goes on, it kind of points people in the direction of the whole EV industry, the renewable energy standpoint, to kind of say, how can I cut my costs?
Mm-hmm.
We know we'll have a capital upfront cost, so we know we'll have issues with batteries and all of that, but everything has wear and tear built into it. Whether you buy a brand new vehicle, it might be 3 years, you have to change parts and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so everything comes down to how you maintain it, how you manage it. But so you better guard your dollar as best as you can. And I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm extremely worried, because we're gonna very soon start to get into the high season for tourism. Bulk of our market come from the United States, or North America in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And
if
if there's problems in terms of affordability,
mm-hmm.
In those countries, we will feel the impact.
Yeah, number will shrink.
In terms of guest arrivals. So we are hoping that the whole matter will subside very quickly, and we'll find some common ground, so we could not worry about the Strait of Hormuz locking off every so often. Right?
Oh goodness, yeah. Hey, Judith Perham celebrating her birthday, and her mom also celebrating her birthday today. That's a good one. I say, kudos to Uno. As well as our youngsters are out and of school, and certainly going to church, VBS. They're going to other training that are taking place. And certainly also those who can take up a little job, find a little work here and there and get on with it. And I am certainly encouraged by that. So instead of just stay home and what have you, we still have a lot for them to do, mm-hmm. Troy. Mm-hmm. And I see them out and about, and certainly making best of the summer rather than being unproductive. So
like we said,
kudos.
There are thousands of kids who are doing good and preparing themselves to be our future. So, that's something where I always have a problem where we have only a few persons holding us hostage. Oh, we lost the call. Call us again, back caller. I saw it kind of going, social media was having a fit. In terms of some gentleman posted that he was petting a small cub, jaguar, and many persons saw that as a ultra negative and had a couple issues there. Apparently there's some scientific thing that if you touch the cub, it carries human scent, and the mother may not want to feed it thereafter, and therefore the cub would die. But that's not what got my attention, because these nonsense happen all the time. I saw a video with a bison in I think one of these national parks attack a gentleman, and when he buck him so hard, he fly up in the air, maybe 6, 7, 8 feet in the air, and probably suffered some injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I looked at the petting situation, I'm saying,
This was out in the forest?
Yes, this was in the mountain pine area.
Wow, man.
I'm saying that only a white person would do that, because the mother jaguar was nearby, and so I would never ever
encourage that.
Think about doing that.
Oh, wow.
Good night, caller. Hello.
Hello, my friend.
Don Hector.
Yes, Don Hector
is in the house.
You're first in line.
I want to make a statement on two very important things. I heard you direct mentioning about somebody's coming to emulate or to represent Nora Parham. I think I heard you said just now.
It's going to be a play at the Bliss.
Yes, okay. I
Yeah.
want to let go something that people don't know what happened.
Sure.
3 or 4 years ago, I received a call from Miami, Florida. A very close family member of my wife, Pops Acosta, the famous Pops Acosta of the professionals.
Yes,
and
of
all
the
these
band.
things.
Yes, yes.
Yes. His wife told me, said, Hector, I have something of great importance. I said, what is it, Chenita? I have the story of Nora Parham as written by the Vicar General of the Catholic Church, Father O'Connor S.J.
Oh, wow.
He used to work there at the presbytery when that thing occurred. Nora Parham sent from the prison, sent for Father O'Connor. She wanted to speak to him.
Mm.
Father O'Connor went there, spoke to her, and she requested to become a Roman Catholic, to be baptized, and the whole works. Father O'Connor acceded, but Father O'Connor informed the Methodist Church, Wesley, that such a thing was being requested, courtesy between religions. Nora Parham became a Roman Catholic while in prison.
Oh, wow.
He asked that two nuns from Mercy Convent be provided her as a company, which the Catholic Church did. One of them was Sister Monsanto, and I think the other one was Sister Rivero. Well-known nuns are not no longer alive, I think. Good. So Father O'Connor began to write every single moment of Nora in the prison. And everything up to the moment when they put the rope on her neck. Because two nuns were there praying with her while this execution was going to take place.
Oh, wow.
So she gave me a 6-page written document by Father O'Connor, and he said, Hector, he said, maybe you can pass this along. I knew Nora from Pomona days. She was the cook at the Pomona Club where we used to get our food.
Oh,
I
wow.
was the overseer for the state of Company, and my wife used to work at the office. And we used to eat her nice food, and we used to heal her everything. So I knew her. So now, immediately I began to look for who is the family of Nora Parham. I did not know. But I found a young lady that she's here in the Shore named Abigail Parham. Abigail Parham is the daughter of one of Nora's sons.
Oh, wow.
So now, when I got this, I said, Abigail, I have something tremendous important. Because I tell you minutely the life of Nora Parham, her confession to the priest, which is a secret, of course. And so the whole thing was there. And I didn't know what to do with this 6-page document, written document by Father O'Connor. So I began looking around. I found out that a young man here in San Ignacio by the name of Dean Williams, rest in peace, young, he died pretty young, who was her youngest son. I went to Dean, I said, Dean, you know what? I have something important, the life of your late mother.
Oh.
I said, I don't know if I should give it to you, it might be a shock and everything. He said, no, don't Hector. He said, I have already realized what happened. So I made copies. I sent one to him. I sent one to Abigail Parham, who is living in Independence, Mango Creek. She's a teacher, I think, there.
Okay.
So, nevertheless, so eventually that letter reached the Ministry of Dolores Valderramos Garcia. And so the movement began to see how they can pardon her for Thomas, to find out what way to do to grant her a pardon, because in that letter, Nora confessed that she did not burn Ketchel Trap. Ketchel Trap lit a cigarette. She was there ironing her clothes when Ketchel Trap came and supposed to hurt her or slap her or whatever. And she threw the thing up that had gasoline. But Ketchel Trap ran down and they went to the outhouse. And there at the outhouse, she decided to light a cigarette. She pulled it down and she caught fire. There was a lady nearby in Orange Walk where this happened. There was a lady nearby who knew the whole story, but they would not take her story. And for what reason, we don't know. She saw the whole thing. And that lady might be still alive in Orange Walk.
Oh, wow.
She wanted to give the story, but she was denied because according to the law, a policeman in those days represented Her Majesty the Queen. He was held in high protection against any whatever.
Okay.
Nevertheless, so Nora Parham went to the gallows, accompanied by these two nuns that stood there praying the whole time and singing little songs and everything. That thing stated every day. I may have a copy yet of that, but I have so many papers of that, but I gave it to their families. So when they had the assembly the last time to give her the pardon, the House of Representatives, I was invited by the family to accompany. I met her 6 sons, I think, and the family, you know, and they thanked me very much for having blown this thing apart. But it comes from Pastor Acosta's wife.
Okay.
Chelita Acosta. Good.
Yeah, okay.
So I leave with that.
Thank you, Don Hector. Okay.
The drainage, floods.
Okay.
Floods are being are happening because of neglect. Belmopan, my friends, I will repeat it before I die. Belmopan was built on the wrong side of the map. That whole area that is flooding the sky, the Mount Pleasant Flats, is a huge water catchment, that area. But because they start to build little Salvapan here and the other one villages, instead of take them over the road, over the highway in Hummingbird, where they send them there and they find a lot of these villages that are in a flooded area. And so because the bush has been removed, the water now accumulates and flows deep. That is the story of Belmopan. So they have to do some major drain from Belmopan, from there, into the village river through the Mount Pleasant Creek that is there, that is flooded. Okay. That is my case there, because the lands across the highway were sold in 100-acre parcels. I know I mentioned the names of the individuals, but there are many of them that bought all those lands where Belmopan should have been extended was sold, and the Belmopan was extended into that major swamp that is there. I am letting this truth so that people may know the true story. And this matter of drainage extends to Orange Walk, extends to Toledo, whereby the drains that were there, like the Magoon drains, are no longer being served well. Okay. I leave you all with that. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I say I must take it out of my chest.
All right. Thank you, Don Hector.
Very good, Don Hector.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. I think, the issue is that when you look at the whole issue of the flooding, we need to look at how the rains come in certain areas, and I guess everything comes in different pockets and spots. Maybe something not happen for 20, 30 years, and then suddenly you get torrential rain. So most persons, because happened so long, you kind of forget the impact that you felt the first time it happened to you, and then when it happens 30 years later, it's like you forgot that it happened to you. Good night, caller.
Yeah, good night.
Yes.
Go up on the Stark Show.
Yes,
Good
man,
night.
go ahead.
Good night. Listen, big man, I call tonight for talk about two different things. One the political structure where we got the Belize, and two, the NGOs where we got set up within Belize.
Okay.
Because we got a whole pile of politicians who get in a power. We forget that when people go up on the poll, go vote, that the power, the Most High, the power of God, make you to come and put the inner power. So for make you go to a minister and they keep on they lie to you and they tell you things when I come out, it hurts, big man. If a man can't do something, make they tell you plain and straight, look here, big man, I can't help you. And you can understand that. And then there are the things where I was like it, Mr. Barrow. Then there are the things where I like with my boy from up north. Right? Because when you get there, the bally tell you, big man, this is impossible, I can't do this. But for make one man promise you, I got you to run back and forth like you're retarded. It make you feel bad, big man. With all big people, and not everybody go to the pool, go take $50 or go take $100 from them when they go get it. Some people serious when they go there because you know what? When they go ask them for do something, they take you for game. Right? And I notice for the politicians, they don't respect we the vote, the people who they vote, no more until when we time go for election again, then they want to call on with Waleed Green in your face and want to try to pet you up. I think Belize get to a stage now where that don't play out, big man. Right? If you know that you know do something, tell the person the truth. Big man, I can't help you, you know. You understand?
Okay.
Big, right? All right. Now
what's
again,
the next point?
NGO we got, right? We got the NGO group we set up in a Belize. We just come and use Belizeans, and some of the same Belizeans they will run the NGO come and get the money for funding, and even give back the money to the people, or they even try to help the different people in the community. Because when I look on it, the Garifuna are the longest people had indigenous clearance for the longest in Belize, right? And with all of the thing they watch in Mayan, they can still step up over the Garifuna because in Mayan they prove that in the day and they work with the people. This NGO we got here, right? We never hear about Cayetano come up and say, well, listen, we'll do something for the people, we'll work with the people, more than just use the tribe, and then, even use people who don't know what part of the tribe, and then come out and then live off of it, and then look by you like you're retarded, which is wrong, big man. The people need to wake up and make we do something with a just human being. Stop the use people.
Okay.
And I think about time for make the people step up to the podium and come on a radio show and explain what they do and explain to we how their money is spent. Because we don't know how their money is spent. And just to tell we one lie.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks,
Good
Ivan.
night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great input, man.
Yeah.
But I think you can ask your minister that question, caller.
Well, first thing first,
You know?
Darrell, is that so we get the terminologies there right. I kind of understand where they go, but we need to get the terminologies right. We vote for representatives.
Mm-hmm.
We don't vote for ministers.
Mm-hmm.
You vote for somebody to represent you. But let's take this call and I'll finish my thought. Good night, caller.
Good night, Mr. Troy.
Good night, good night.
I have a concern here, see if really it affects me. You know, I'm a farmer and I have a water problem. It really affects my farm.
You mean
And
shortage
so
of water or too much water? Which one?
Too much water.
Mm. In which area?
It is a silk grass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a water will come down out of the village and run into my farm and always kill out my crop.
Oh my.
And so I gone to area rep and I speak with him and tell him what are my condition and if you could have please help me out with that problem. And he always just they push me wrong and say that, oh yeah, get equipment to come in and do the drain in front of my farm that the water could pass. And every time he just they push me wrong.
So the solution is drainage, no?
Drainage is the problem.
Okay.
And I don't lose a lot of money there, you know. Last year I never plant no corn, no beans because I always lose them crop.
Okay.
Like when you come to the fast crop, I always lose that. Okay. And right now I have beans and corn plants, and now the rain will come again, and I probably might lose them crop again.
Oh my! All right. Well, so, we'll share the appeal with the area representative, and you know, like you said, he said he'll try to do something. So we'll try our best to see what it is that he could do, no?
Yeah, because I think, and I don't know what else to do, because I call him, I approach him 2 different times, and he just push me around.
Yeah, I hear your despair, caller. I'll just add my voice to it as well, no, and see whether or not there can be something that can be done quickly to alleviate your problem before you lose your crops, no?
Right. I'd like to say to Mr. Mariano, I'd rather have to make him be my area rep better because, man, I heard a Lodero call this morning, and right away Mr. Mariano called and said, no, I will be around the areas and try to solve the problem. This is the kind of guy who would I need in my area. I mean, nothing going on area from area rep. Okay. Nothing. I want you to come and still go out when it rain and see the condition of the people in the yard, how the water, because they full the road and no drain, no culvert. So everything go into the people in the yard.
Okay.
And you could see that the sewage water is smelly.
Oh.
You know, it's sewage water when people have to walk in. I mean, it's terrible.
Okay.
I mean, we really need some help here at Silgrass, man.
All right, then, caller. I'll take a note of your number, no, and then we'll see.
All right, sir. Thanks.
All right, thanks, caller. Silk grass.
Yeah, hang in there. Yeah, because I know it could be.
On your way to Hopkins.
When you have your crop and things are coming to destroy it, it creates a level of despair because that's your investment that you're losing because you spend time and money and sweat to get it to that point. And yes, you know, there's always a risk when you deal with agriculture.
Yeah.
It's risky. It's a risky business, and so you have to kind of know what you're doing. And like we were saying, there's this level of unpredictability with the weather right now for whatever reason. You know, it's causing these changes, and we are going to.
Brigham Mayor is getting help in terms from the infrastructure.
Yeah, well, they are stretched in. MIDH is stretched in, trying to help everybody as well. Because bear in mind, it's not like they have an infinite amount of resources to be able to stretch. So the bottom line is that you try to prioritize and deal with things that you could quickly fix, and the things that require more, you'll have to leave for later and revisit it. But the bottom line is that when these things happen, you're looking from Belmopan all the way down south, that's a huge amount of coverage that you have to kind of rush to deal with, you know. So you have crews in those areas, yes, from MIDH, but then they're stretched in trying to help everybody. And even representatives, and as I was making the point before the call, that people elect representatives, not ministers. And I always point out that you need 16 representatives to become a government, 16 representatives from the same party to become form the government. That's subsequently based on how the Prime Minister wishes. He appoints ministers of various ministries. The fundamental issue here is that you should be representative first, because most of the time people become ministers first and forget that at the end of the day, it is those persons who you represent you vote again to put you back in that position. You can't become a minister if your party don't win and you don't become a representative in the majority. So the point is that the focus has to be on you being a good representative first. And if you go back to the statement of Honorable Cordell Hyde, who had made the point last weekend, which was carried on Love FM, that he focused a lot on the issue of the party and the party having to be strong in all political parties. That's the springboard. These are political parties that run an election ticket that gets into government. It's not nobody from Mars drop and become a minister. It's a politician who becomes the minister. But he goes and he campaigns for your vote. It's a popularity contest at the end of the day. But the fundamental issue is that first you must be a representative. And what we have seen historically, people forget. They get busy with their ministry. True. Like they may gone if they gone tell people vote for me to be a minister. They get busy.
True.
You can't get the call. They don't answer your call. Everything now a problem. I am saying you are a representative. You know, if you can't walk and chew chewing gum, then you just decide which one you will do. Which is more important because one can't come without the next. 9 out of 10, you can't be a minister if you don't be a representative. Because if you don't win your seat, chances are you will be overlooked. Even if your party is in a majority. You know, you'll be given some token arrangement. You won't get no 9 out of 10, no ministry because you didn't win. You know, and this is a business that love winners and cherish winners. They tell you, they got all kind of statement. Election have consequences. To the winners go the spoil, person, christen their picnic first. You hear all of these statements that says that it's about winning. There's no bridesmaid, no second place. So be a good representative. Very important. Right? So I don't want to preach too much about that issue because I've spoken about this several times. Many times representatives lose because they become bad ministers. They lose because of things they do while they're running a ministry. Not while they're representing their people. Good night, caller.
Hi, good night. Could I join the talk show, please?
Yeah, you're on.
Go ahead.
Hi, Darrell and Troy. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
I heard you guys this morning. You know I'm a regular listener.
Oh, thank you.
Talking about redistricting. I myself have paid a lot of attention to it, and I kind of look at the demographics of where we would consider the seats that has the most amount of people that is not proportionately equal or balanced. And from what I'm looking at is that we have Stancrick West, we have the seat with Cordell Hyde, and we have the seat with Julius Spot, and now seemingly the seat in Belmopan.
Right.
You with me?
Yes.
So now if I am to look at who would redistricting help, I would look at the demographics of how Stancrick West has changed its face, its language, its demographic of people. And if I am to split that in two, who would benefit? I will let you think for yourself. And if I am to split Belmopan and split it in two, who would benefit? And if I am to split Cayo South, now rapidly growing with people from other places, and I am to split that in two, the only balanced split for me, being biased, is in Lake Eye, that I believe we would have our third and fourth generation Belizean getting a true balance of what redistricting means. But I believe all the others would leave for a new era representatives who might not, who the John Con lately believes to kind of run that area. And we have to welcome people now. We're all Belizean.
Yes, sir.
But I believe redistricting will have an adverse effect of the third and fourth generation Creole in this country. And now I'll left that with you guys based on my solid research that I've been doing for the past 3 years.
Okay. Thanks. Well, again, it points out to the fact that, you know, I don't know if I really subscribe to that sort of ethnicity component 100%, that people vote like for like, you know, because many jurisdictions are representative. Let's take, for instance, Bongopan for a long time. While you have a large Hispanic population, John Saldivar, who is a black man, had represented them for a significantly long period of time. So it doesn't hold true all the time because I'm black, I'll vote for somebody who are representatives who are black, or because I'm Hispanic or whatever other ethnicity. You're looking for representation.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's who would be able to capture your fancy.
Yeah, you had Penner, the first Mennonite.
Who had
you
your
have Mr. Chan, who is the first Chinese, and in a black neighborhood, a black.
Well, a neighborhood he grew up in. You know, so again, it comes back to the point that it doesn't necessarily means that because I'm Hispanic, I will be voting for a Hispanic person if one is put in front of me and I have a choice, because sometimes voters are fickle. Voters look for sometimes connection with the individual, the charisma. There's money involved as well, and so there was a whole host of dynamics that goes into what decision a voter makes. Some of them are simplified. Pay me a money and I vote for you. Then some of them is, you know, they want certain promises that they think will benefit their lives and their family. Some of them kind of say, well, my spirit does take Darrell and I like Darrell, and that's how some people vote. Or I don't like Darrell and then they vote for somebody else. So that a number of things goes into, and the way how this system is set up, we just first past the post, meaning I just need to get one vote more than you when I'm in competition in order for me to win that particular seat. Now, there are some limitations that are built into the Representative of the People's Act in terms of the size and the amount of divisions that can exist. That might have to be adjusted. I am not one to increase from 31 to any other number because I think we already have sufficient. So the idea now is to say how much, if you look at the electoral roll, divide it by 31, and that will tell you, give or take, within reasonableness, what each division need to have in terms of total voters. And then you start to play with the lines in order to see how you could get the amount of voters in it. It's not going to be extremely scientific. You'll have to do some adjustment. It will never come out exact
right.
or even. But you, well, caller, I know there's a caller trying to get in, but after the first ring it drops. Yeah, you'll never be able to get all division equal. But you'll have really some close margin.
Yeah.
The law allows between 10 to 15% variance. So you have that latitude to be able to do it. Of course, there's always the risk of gerrymandering, trying to cut a division to give you an advantage, right? That is not far-fetched either. That's a possibility that exists. So we have to understand the concept. Because yes, there is some divisions that are huge. There's mismatch. I have 10,000, you have 2,000, but you have the equal right like me. Good night, caller.
Good night, good night, good night.
Good night. Good night. Tell us.
For the south. Hi for the south.
Okay.
I'm
South.
the area rep for the Sand Creek West, Mr. Rado.
Yeah.
Mr. Rado, don't try to help people, brother. I don't know where to go, Mr. Rado. I went to Bella Vista. I saw a cement road at Bella Vista. That Mr. Martinez just gone in at this thing here. That's improvement. Where Mr. Rado go for all the years.
Okay.
Understand? Help the people, my brother. If you want to come along again next election, come on, help the people, help the people. That farmer there need help.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, come on.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, Carla.
Well, again, just to repeat myself, that you have to be a good representative across the board. And remember, you have to remember one thing also, that you'll never get 100% of the voters to support you. You need a majority, meaning, and you need just one more technically. That's how it works. But you have to make sure that at least you have a base that will support you.
Yeah.
Good night, caller.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yes, I could please on live.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. You're on the air. You're on the business hour.
Okay, good night, Troy, and good night. I'm not sure what the
Yeah,
other
Daryl.
gentleman name
Yeah,
is.
Daryl.
Yeah, good night, Daryl.
Hey, good night,
But,
man. Yeah.
Tell us.
Troy, I think the districting
Uh-huh.
is very important. But also specifically size of the constituency is also important. Let's look at some of the rural communities. For example, Sand Creek West. I think Sand Creek West is one of the constituency with the most villages tend to be corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
yes.
think second to that, if I'm correct, would be Belize Rural North with 23 villages and 2 communities.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at something within the entire, and I'm talking about when referring service to the people. Talk about the road upkeep.
Talking at the receiver caller, because you're cutting in and cutting out, no? So we're not hearing everything you're saying clearly.
Yes, talking about feeder road upkeep, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we often hear people calling in me feeder road, you know, need fix or my drain need clean. But let's look at Belize District as an example. We have, I think, 33 villages within Belize District stand to be corrected. If you take out Kikaka and St. George's Key, you're left with 31. Ministry, MIDH Belize District is responsible for all those 31 villages to maintain and upkeep whatever it is. But then Ministry of Work, I'm not sure if they have 3 dump trucks. I'm not sure if they have 2 grader. I'm not sure if they have 2 roller. Maybe they have a bulldozer where they work. So it is improbable to maintain all these feeder roads with these limited resources. So we are always, we hear the cry for decades ago, and we are continuing to hear the cry. And sometimes we blame the era representative, but if we don't fix the situation, we'll never truly fix the problem. Then we go to the constituency where you were talking about you are era representative first. That's true. But in addition to that, sometimes if you don't get a powerful ministry, it's challenging to be a difficult era representative. Let's look at the constituency where we have the minister MIDH, which is, I think he's from Kyle South.
Mm-hmm.
kudos to him. But if you would take a visit within Cayo South, based on when I pass like St. Matthews and Cotton Tree, street paved. Because the available resources is there. But then you have other constituents who don't have the resources.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to put things in place where there's a balance in resources available.
Yeah.
You understand? Because of course the man who in charge of Ministry of Works, of course he can look after area first. But what happened to me when I'm in charge of Ministry of Works? And sometimes if I had a minister natural resources, I could cut to a deal with the Ministry of Works. So I will get help because he need me the Ministry of Natural Resources. So he have to help me. But suppose I got a minister disaster management. Nothing there to give nobody. Nobody have a cut no deal with me. So I'm just saying that to say that the pie not shared equally. And this I know what, to be honest, my friends, I'm the caretaker for Belize Rural North. And this I know what PUP thing. This thing it happened with both political parties. And I'm telling you, although I would like to see a UDP government, I really want to see what change of approach, because if you don't do things differently, we'll remain in the same position forever. Ever. UDP will get in, and in the next 10 years, the people are frustrated with them the same way, because it's the approach we're using. And it's very important, because Belize River Valley Belize Rural North in a whole used to be the breadbasket for Belize City.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm not sure if we are still anymore.
Yeah,
I know that still do a lot of farming.
I know they still do a lot of cattle or so in that area as well, and small subsistence
friend,
farming. Yeah.
If you would visit some of the villages, let's look at a small village like Limonal. Now there's a road paved. Because I think that road was paved for Limonal, whatever the reason why. But then, before then, people had to seek employment, had to work. Most people, the employment capital or the commercial capital of Belize City. So when you're from a village and you don't have no job, the first thing you go to Belize City, go look for a job. So at that time, before the road was paved, when you go to Belize City, you carry up and down and hitch a ride from Belize City to Limonal every day. So when people go to Belize City, they migrate and it's here. So there's a lot of village people, and then that actually they abandon the village. Like for example, Maypen reach a point where most of the people Maypen and those villages used to be big communities. They used to have school in Maypen. And these are very good farming community, but I guess because of climate change now, and we have flooding very often. We had in 2020, 2024. First, it used to be every 10 years, but right now, every 4 years.
Oh, wow.
It becomes hard for farmers. It becomes hard for farmers. In addition to that, young people, there's no electricity in those areas. There's no internet access. So these villages will soon be abandoned if nothing is done. And those villages are very good farming area for the factories, especially when it comes to cattle raising. In the dry season, the wet savanna become perfect for cattle. They can graze on the grass.
Okay.
And then when it's extreme dry season, they have access to water.
Yeah. You have a wrap up for me though?
Not be unfair with me though, brother, because when
I know they're unfair with you.
you're not gonna have a wrap up at all, man. I'm just saying that in my last point.
Make a point, man. Make a point.
Last point, my brother. My last point. The media plays a very important role. So I'm just saying that when we're giving information, it is important that the correct information is shared with the people. Thank you, gentlemen, and keep up the good work.
Good,
Yeah.
thank you.
And thanks for joining us as well.
I agree with the point with the caller as well, is that you could get an unfair advantage or it gives you a leg up based on your ministry and your ability to have access to resources. But that's a system we now have. But at the same time, my point is, regardless of how you go around about doing it, you still have to be a good representative, because you go back to the people for your vote. Whether you get a ministry that gives you an advantage, because some people get ministries that they could do good with for their people, but they end up not doing it, and they end up losing election as a result. But I do take that point under consideration. The second point that I think the caller made that I felt was meaningful was that based on certain divisions, you have distances to travel to get, because of the sparseness. You have these villages that are scattered all over. So in order for you to say, even if you're campaigning, you have a disadvantage versus somebody who maybe just have 10 blocks to deal with, or something to that effect, say like it in Belize City, the urban area. But the point is this, is that the law doesn't take in consideration none of that. The law speaks about amount of voters. It doesn't say where they are or so. It says that if you says that this constituency is X, this constituency need to have at the very least between 10 to 15% near this number. So if you have the 31 constituency and we have 200,000 people on the roll, you divide that by 31 representative, and you're supposed to get so much voters on or near 10 to 15% plus or minus, and that becomes your constituents. It doesn't say that it doesn't talk about distance, right? It talk about voters. So now, I'm saying that I believe that you might well end up looking at that and how you try to cut this thing up. You might run the risk that you have to go over. You're restricted by the law right now in terms of 31 divisions. So are you going to amend the law to adjust more? Which I said, I think we have sufficient representative right now as it is. Yeah. So the thing is, like I said, it's how you draw the line. It is not that scientific, but I think it has a lot of difficulty, and so you'll find out that things cut in some weird way.
Yeah.
But
some proposal was even to snatch out, blot out some.
Well, that will happen. So some of those divisions will not exist as they are right now. If you look at small divisions that are close together, the Albert, Mesopotamia, Queen Square, those more than likely will either collapse in two or collapse in one, depending on how that all pans out. Fort Georgia is another small one. Good night, caller.
God blessing, Darrell. Good night.
Hey, good night.
Hey, John, you still awake?
I have to, Darrell.
Farmer now, wake up early, man.
No, don't know about that, Darrell. We have to sleep late. Because you know what happens is that the more you have, the more you have to watch.
You have a lot to watch.
Well, I have what's better going around me, because if the cat left the tail too far out, then somebody can chop it off. You have to protect your tail. Hey, but I will make a tell you one thing and make the shot. I used to listen to Henry Garden that way back. I don't know if you know Henry.
Yes. Yeah, I used to be my next door neighbor.
Yes.
Right. From way back then people made the talk truth. Especially on behalf of black people, make them listen. But apparently we don't listen. What happens is that we usually come with the same circus with different clowns. And the performance, the old clowns, then when they teach the young clowns, then the same performance. So we get wow, like where the big man say, Albert Einstein, the same results.
Yes, yes.
Now, Troy, I don't know if you agree with me, but agriculture, that the thing where they make money, and we always make money in our society because we have to be fed.
Oh, yes.
But I noticed that the light thrown on the black man is that the very black people then where they put in charge of the development, no, not about the development. Because, you know, it appalled me that when you go to the school, the advisor still they throw rake, shovel, hammer from the students then. That's why the children, they're not enthusiastic about the thing. You got people gone now, and the thing cheap. Instead of the, you understand, then you got vacuum cleaner. I've been striving for these things for a long while, but nobody listens to me because stupid. What happens is that the hog show you that he clean. He not shit up all over the place in the pen. He shit in one corner. I noticed that because I'm a farmer. I observe and so all you need to do that, get one vacuum cleaner for hummingbirds to fit the size of your operation. You don't need one dump the big truck like the one where race control. You understand? You start small. Now that will lead me to another problem again is that if you start small, then you grow. Because then if you start from 5 hog, then you see the problem, and if you see the improvement in that thing, and you see the money they come in, and you do it the right way, then you improve to 10. But it seems to me that for we society, no look on it so, then 100 right away.
John,
and then at the end of the day, Troy, they not do nothing correct.
Yeah, I hear you,
Because
John.
you know, we waste the hog manure. We're supposed to go back into the biogas tank, and then we waste the meat because they know the head. Like when the Mennonites they do, hey, Troy, I got I don't know which one of them that's shipyard or but I can't orange walk.
Speed up, cause we have to go.
Orange walk.
Time to go.
Yeah. Nix and Knox.
Yes, sir. Now we have to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, I want to let this part here with it is that the people in the orange walk make one lot of use of the whole thing because when the Mennonites slaughter the hog, one lady they wait for all the heads.
Oh, wow.
All the cow heads.
Wow.
So, yeah, I tell them, man, that you need to take one trip to the progressive place, man, and stop the watching people who are not progressive.
No, man, I go all
Later,
over
John,
the country,
later.
John.
I gotta go. Good night.
All right, good. Hey, but that's just one point I'm want to draw that we need to improve the black race.
Watch your wealth.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, interesting conversation indeed. Using technology. Yeah, very quickly, this Friday night at the Orange Walk Sporting Complex, if you could add for me, Greg, the Bellican Orange Walk Running Rebels will be taking on the Defenders. It's game 4. The Rebels are down 2-1 in a best-of-5 series, so it's winner go home for the Rebels.
Yeah.
Get the audio.
Friday night, and it is the final home game for the Orange Walk Running Rebels, and a must-win as the Rebels don't want the Belize City Defenders to pop the champagne and celebrate with that 70K on their home court. So Rebels Nation, you need to come out in unprecedented numbers this Friday night, 9 p.m. at the Orange Walk Sporting Complex to ensure the series continues. Giveaways, the NEBL Girls Plus more. It's game 4 of the NEBL Finals this Friday night. Will the Orange Walk Running Rebels force a game 5, or will the Defenders be the champs? Sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Yeah, and there you have it, Darrell. This Friday night, so all roads lead to Orange Walk.
Right.
I want to ask all Orange Walk fans, you got to come out, got to support, got to be that 6 man there. And, you know, we've done it before. So we'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
And even up the series. So I see you all there. Check out Nix and Knock 6101961. Check out their Facebook page and give them a call, 6101961, 60 Crunch Street. I urge you, join me tomorrow morning where me and Ernesto will be here, doing this all over again just for you guys. And of course, we urge you come back again next week, Monday, where we should be doing another episode of the Business Hour.
Bev and Alter, say good night to you. Bev mom as well. Keisha and Willie. Certainly our condolence to Willie and the loss of his mom lately. Certainly Eleanor Leng, I say special good night to you. And Miss Arana, who is the great cook right out there at Constitution Park. We say good night to you. To my brother in Canada, James Lightburn, and his daughters and the rest of the family. Angie, my sister, over there as well. We say good night to you. Niall in the U.S. As well, listening. Errol, the Burger King, who says he heard his shout out. And certainly as we big up Tracy from St. Michael's. Tracy Mother, Miss Gillet, who listens to us as well. And Shaw, Motive, Murdy, Talia as well. And certainly Morgan and Morgan, who I run into today. To Michael Hendy and Mrs. Hendy, we say special good night to you too. Wayne Hendy, who's listening to us in Isabella. And certainly the Lanza, the Ball and the Herrera, and the other members, the Hulse family as well. As we big up Owen Hendy and certainly Shedrack Hendy and Margaret Hendy. And we are over the river into Flowers Bank, where we says good night to the Flowers family, the Rayburn family, the Robinson family, and certainly the chair lady and Miss Shar and Miss Smith, and certainly all you wonderful people out there. To the Gillett family out there in Boom, we say good night to you, Miss Ann Gillett and the Bowl Red Wine. And certainly to Miss Florita out there in Landing, and all you other folks that we meet from time to time in the River Valley. Coming back to Belize, Darrell Dice Brooks, he's in the hospital. We say get well, brother. Our prayers are with you. And certainly Dion Brackett, Balawa #1 runner. As we also mentioned, Wani and Peter Carter, and certainly his buddy that joins us all the time. Crocus, we say good night also to you. And Wayne Hope, who drops in every night. And to Wayne Hope, we say Buck also, the barber Buck, good night. And certainly to his other buddy, the mechanic, we say good night. And to Willie White and the knock-up shop also on Raccoon Street. So we say good night also to you, Mud, and you guys. Certainly, Miss Dull, who is right next door, Miss Rose, who is right next door, Junior, who is right next door, and certainly our wonderful people who, Glenn, I haven't forgotten you. Brenda Lee, the great cook, and certainly we'll have bread this weekend. People came today, Troy, but it was already done, gone. Yeah. Bread this weekend, Friday, Saturday is the latest. Put in your order, you will certainly get your amount. And she has patties every single day, and certainly powder buns, and does catering, does hair as well. And to you, Bogart, we say good night also to you. To the Parham family who's celebrating.
Murder in San Ignacio,
oh my.
Santa Elena.
Man.
That a man was shot near the Hawkswood Bridge.
My. Wow. To the Parham family celebrating their birthdays today too. Mom birthday today, and certainly our girl birthday today. We say special good night to you and to all you listening. To Miss Myrna, and certainly to Basil and Cece, the great cook as well. And to St. Michael's and the guys hanging out. I don't think no game tonight, so I'm going to watch that tomorrow night on the big TV. Certainly as we go over on the other side. Delroy and the guys them at the Burgess Auto Shop right there on Gibnut Street. Burr right next door. And certainly Fire and his store on the Boulevard. We say, shop there, support the Belize Foam, Charles Habanera, and certainly the rest of the family. And certainly Don Sarkis Jr., daughter, and Shar, and all you people working on the foam and what have you. Cuddy's Food, which is right next door, have clothes and whatever on the fence so that you could see it. As we walk into town, Supreme Meats, and certainly right next door, Latino Barber Shop, Miss Wilma's Pharmacy, and we're coming into Daddy's Fat Burger right next door as well. And then you're into my store, which is Habet and Habet, where I see Olga and I see Leon and I see Carmita, I see Miss Marsha. I run into Match every now and then, Mrs. Match Jr., and certainly mother-in-law that listens to the show, Dino, Miss Cho, and certainly Miss Lisa and Basil, my schoolmate, and all you wonderful people who serves us in there, take care of us from one Neil right down to everything else where we need for the house. Dee's Diner, which is right next door. I'm walking down Symmetry now and into M&M's Lumber Yard. Certainly kudos to you guys, and over to Community Drug Store as well. Good service and certainly open great hours. Coming up to Constitution Park, where we meet the guys that does the taxi stand right out there, Percy Lewis, and all on the way to listen to the show. Good night also to Ono. And certainly Miss Hope at the foot of King Street Bridge, Cedric Flowers and his accounting firm, Ditz over 65 years. They also listen to the show. My number one runner, Miss Tucker, and you ladies over at Posh, and all you keeping King Street alive, we say kudos. Norman's, who is Armin's buddy that does the hops, we say good night to you. Jerry Breadaway is running the business now. Good night also to you, brother. I ran into him today. And into Carmita's, where we get our threads, where we get our zippers, where we get anything for sew with, they have the connection in there. And into Mikado's, where I see Carolyn and I see Miss Terre, and I see all you wonderful people who from time to time take very good care of us and, do things our way. To all the people where we meet from time to time who says, hey, we listen to the business hour, we are thankful, we are grateful. On behalf of the incomparable Armin Arana, who is back with us on Love Television and Love FM, we say welcome back. Giovanni, our TV facilitator, Greg today. And certainly Troy and myself, we say thank you. Please join us same time, same place next week. We are out of here. We go on.
Bye.